Okay, so we've got a question here. We're going to simplify these 6 surds. So the technique for that, first of all, let's draw a table up with some square numbers in it. So if I start off 2, 3, 4 and 5. So as we're going up to 32, 5 is going to be more than enough to solve these ones. And then square each number as we go along. So I've got 4, 9, 16 and 25. So this now is going to be my reference in order to try and simplify these 6 surds. So how are we going to use this table? Well, I'm going to start with square root of 8 first. So what we'll look for is what we've got inside the surd here, which is 8. Will it divide by any of these squared numbers? Now 4 we know will go into 8. So I can rewrite square root of 8 as square root of 4 and square root of 2. Because if we multiply what's inside the 2 surds together, we get another surd, which is square root of 8. So 4 2s are 8. That's why we get this one. Now square root of 4 we know is 2. So now we can rewrite this as 2 root 2. And as 2 can't be divided by any of these square numbers here, we've come to the end of this surd. So that is my answer for this one. What about square root of 14? Can we divide 14 by any of these square numbers? Well, 4 won't go into it, there'll be a remainder. 9 won't go into it, and 16 is too big. So this is a surd in its simplest form. So that will stay as square root of 14. We could break it down into square root of 2, square root of 7, but we've got nowhere to go with that. This is still the answer in its simplest form. Okay, square root of 12, that's my next one. Well, looking at my table straight away, I see that 4 goes into 12. So I can take square root of 4 out, and then if I divide 12 by 4, I get 3. So then I've got square root of 3. Square root of 4 we know is 2, so 2 root 3 will be my answer. So then I've got 2 root 3. And then there's nowhere to go with this root 3 because it's bigger, it's smaller than all of these squares anyway. So that is my answer for this one. Now, next one, square root of 24. Straight away again, I can see 4 goes into 24. And it goes in 6 times. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So let's rewrite my surd as square root of 4, square root of 6. Notice I'm putting the number from the table first. You don't have to put the number from the table first if you don't want. You can write it the other way around. But when you're going to put your integer in front of the surd, which is the usual way, then start with the way this way around. Okay, square root of 4, square root of 6. Square root of 4 we know is 2. And square root of 6 can't be simplified with any of these squares. So that's my answer to this one in its simplest form. Okay, square root of 18. Square root of 18, 4 won't go into 18 properly, but 9 will. So I can now write square root of 9, and 18 divided by 9 is 2. So now I write square root of 2. Hence 2 9s are 18. Square root of 9 we know is 3. So now I've got 3 root 2. And that takes care of that one. That's that one in its simplest form. And then square root of 32. Let's look at the table. 4 will go into it, but we can do even better than that. 16 will also go into it. So let's use both methods. Let's see what happens. First of all, I'll use the 16. So square root of 32 becomes square root of 16. 32 divided by 16 is 2. Square root of 16, square root of 2. Square root of 16 we know is 4. 4 root 2 is my answer. Okay, so that's it in its simplest form we know. Now what if I'd have not chose the 16, I'd have chosen 4. So square root of 32, let's just write this down here. See, when I've taken 4 out of it, I'd have written square root of 4, and then 32 divided by 4 is 8. So I would have had square root of 8. Okay, This we know is 2 from the table. So we've got 2 root 8. Okay, but this is not finished. Square root of 8 we did here. We got 2 root 2. So let's put that down as 2 root 2. So 2 times 2 root 2. So then we've got 2 times 2 is 4 times square root of 2. So that would have given me 4 root 2 just by checking back at this answer. Also, we could go across here if we didn't have this example in our books. Okay, so square root of 8, we know 4 goes into 8, so we would have had 2 square root of 4 square root of 2. Square root of 4 we know is 2, so that would have given us 2 times root 2, which give us 4 root 2. And all of these ways will still get you to the same answer. Okay.